Hey, welcome back. Hopefully, you guys watched the video on my main channel about the ESG score, which is something that I was surprised to see that a lot of people are unaware of. And I forgot to mention in my video, it's mostly the mega corporations that care about the ESG score. But the problem is that usually smaller corporations are tied to the mega corporations. So, for example, like Parler and Amazon, right? Like when Amazon wanted to deplatform Parler, they could do nothing about it. So, if the mega corporations care about the ESG score, then the smaller corporations have to abide by the terms of service set by the mega corporations. So you still, like, for example, if MasterCard has terms of service, uh, if you're a company that wants to do business, you have to follow the terms of service that MasterCard sets for you. Otherwise, they could just deplatform you. So they don't need every single company to care about these scores. And what's more interesting is that a lot of people compare this with China, with the social credit score. I actually prefer China, to be honest, because at least in China, you know what you're supposed and you're not supposed to do. Like, for example, I don't know how easy it would be for someone like Styx Hexenhammer to find a job. From what I understand, like a lot of a lot of employers in certain parts of the world, they don't hire people that have YouTube accounts. Like, they don't hire people that became a personality because it's a risk assessment. Like, regardless of what you're doing, you can just do video games or you can do music or whatever. The problem is, like, they will look at you as a risk. They will say, well, you got like a lot of videos put up. Maybe you said something offensive in one of them. Like, we don't know. We can't look up. Right? So that's why, like, at least the Chinese system is a lot better because you know what you're supposed to do and what you're not supposed to do. And you can also grind the points back up. Like, there are things you can do in order to get points back. In the West right now, from what I can tell, like, if you're a toxic person, if you said offensive jokes 10 years ago, if you were involved in some controversy or anything like that, there is no way to undo that. Like, there is nothing you can do in order to regain prestige. There is no rehabilitation. But I don't want to say, like, all in all, the system is horrible. Like, I would prefer it doesn't exist. I I guess, like, we live in a time where there's a lot of technological advancements, but like this age of information where everything you do gets locked down and there's no way of redeeming yourself is horrible. I mean, even a child molester, as I pointed out, they get to be redeemed. I mean, they go to prison, they do their sentence, they come out, they're considered to be rehabilitated after a while. So like they give it. What I mean is, like, they're given the opportunity. Like, society allows them the opportunity to try to reintegrate. But there are people who, like, said a racist joke or a sexist joke, like Tim Hunt, the Nobel Prize winner, who now has to work in Japan because the West won't have it. So that's the problem. Let's see. I got a super chat from Dick Cheeseland. No, I was first. You're never first, Dick. I'm always first. Every time I start a video, I'm first. Why do I have so many ladies in the chat? Like, I kicked Kelly Miller. I didn't actually kick Kelly Miller. I took away her wrench. And now I got like 3 ladies in the chat. And only 66 people watching. How much is that in percentage, huh? A little bit more and I'll have like 10% female audience. That's very interesting. Usually, like, I think I got like 5 or 6% female audience. It's very interesting. I don't know why girls don't want to watch me. Just get guys. Get a lot of guys. Jordan Peterson was actually asked this. Like, Jordan Peterson would ask, like, why do so many men read your literature? It's like, I don't know. Ask the women why they don't want to read Jordan Peterson. I fucking don't know. It's such a bizarre question to ask someone that produces content, right? Like, we got another woman. We got Jiri. Jiri is another one. So yeah, it's so weird. Like, you're producing content and then you're getting asked, it's why don't women read your shit? It's like, how the fuck should I know? It's like, why do kids don't read your shit, or why do old people don't read your stuff? Like, I don't know, man. Ask them. Oh my god, they're multiplying. Look, the ladies are multiplying. I got Lady Kama here, Jessica T. Holy crap. Ever since I got engaged. Look at this. Look at it. Like, I got engaged and all of a sudden I'm surrounded by ladies. I need the stick to keep them away. Like, back away, ladies. Back away. This man's taken, huh? Oh my god, that's so cringe. Like, things you should never say. Unemployed women. I mean, one of them is a housewife, so there's that. Marinara, I gave you a wrench, so you're in charge of the ladies in the chat. Like, make sure you get control of it. So we're going. I might think I know why there's so many ladies in the chat, because we're going to be talking about the Wii Spa incident, which is honestly one of the most hilarious things that I have seen on the internet. I mean, to think that this evolved to violence. Look, you get Tim Pool here, 230k views. Like, how the fuck can you talk about 25 minutes about this shit, Tim? Like, look at him. Let me show you something, right? Let me just let's go past the commercial, and I'll show you something. Alright, I'll show you something. Like, normally you want to talk 10 minutes about a video because that's what the algorithm does, right? And look at him. Look at him. Look at it. He's talking. Okay, he's talking about it. And he's talking. And he's talking. And he's still talking. Same article. And he's talking. And he's talking. And he's talking. And like he keeps talking. And he's talking. And he's talking. And he's talking. Like, man, I'm look. The thing that I don't understand is like how much work this guy puts in. I mean, he releases like 4 or 5 videos a day, right? And he talks like 25 minutes per video. That's a lot of work. Plus the live stream. Like, when does this man have time to do hobbies? When does he do something that he enjoys? Maybe he is married to his work, right? Like, is this it? But like, the thing is, like, I wouldn't know what you can talk about this incident for like 25 minutes. Jesus. No, like, it's I'm not complaining. Like, it's not criticism. It's like, it's just like I wouldn't be able to do that. Although I would also add the fact that when you talk too much about something, I mean, I get if it's a live stream and you talk a lot, but if it's like you're just making a video for like 25 minutes just talking about the same shit, like, people get bored. But for him, it seems to work. I mean, he had like 250,000 people watching, so who am I to complain? It's a YouTube talent, I guess. And YouTubers just keep talking, says David, talking to me in the chat. He doesn't, V. He spends 15 of those 25 minutes talking about himself. Does he? Because I mean, yeah, I guess, like, it's like, listen, man, I've been on the ground when Wall Street happened. And I gotta tell you, if I comment on this too much, I fear I might get the person from YouTube Google. Well, it depends what you comment, I guess. Sometimes Ting talks about how his job is talking in videos. I guess. Tim is the Inception master. Like, here's the thing. Like, I mean, I guess if I was in a bus and I had nothing to do, I could listen to a 25-minute video. But, I gotta watch the news as much as I can. Like, I gotta go through different sources. And I go to Tim Pool, but I read the title, I listen a little bit of what's in the news, and that's it. Like, I can't spend 25 minutes per video, Jesus. Alex P says, V, I remember you complained about the wood. I feel your pain, but remember, you can always have an invisible gazebo like the Italian art statue. Yeah, but the problem with the invisible gazebo is that when it rains, the furniture under the invisible gazebo still gets fucked. So, yeah. All right. Let's look at this. So let's analyze this situation, right? In case you didn't know, let's watch it again. We got this lady over here being very angry.
So you don't. So it's okay. I just want to
be
clear with you. It's okay. It's okay for a man to go into the women's section, show his penis around the other women, young little girls underage. Your spa, Wii Spa.
I guess, like, this is how you can just break down the story. You know, if you take away all the ideology surrounding it. Because I heard, like, people say, it's like, oh, like, trans women don't have, like, more rights than other people. It's like, no. Like, you take all the ideological thing, or, like, just remove it to the bare essential, and it boils down to a question, okay? Should little girls be exposed to a stranger's cock? Right? Like, that's it. Like, do we as a society want to show cocks to little girls? That is literally the question. Okay, that is the bare essential, the skeleton. And then you have, like, the progressives dressing up the skeletons. Yeah, but you see, it's a little bit more. No, it's not complicated. It's very simple. Alright? Like, can we have a place where girls go and they don't get to see cocks? That is the only question that you need to ask. The only thing. And apparently the answer is that if we have such a place, then society descends into fascism. Because there were people that went there in order to protest the fact that Wii Spa doesn't segregate, like they don't say, okay, little girls over here, little boys over there, okay, because they don't do that. You have people that went there to protest. And then you had other people that went there to do violence against the protesters. And it descended into the famous Battle of Wii Spa, which is documented. You can find like different journalists showing about it. It's just like the most insane, most crazy thing. In a city of California, where most progressive, this is the future. This is what awaits us all, right? Like if that's progress, I guess Romania has a little bit more, and then we're going to reach that level. Because, like, progress is a one-way street, isn't it? It's like you take the road, and eventually you get there. So, yeah, like, that is how I ask the question. The second one, and this is, like, the thing that no one asks. Like, no one asks. But it's a very important question. How the fuck do you know the person is a transgender? How the fuck do you know? By what metric? Do you take it at face value? Is it at face value? So, it's kind of funny, like, progressives will call a person a racist, right? And if the person says, I'm not a racist, you don't take him at face value. Like, you require more evidence. For example, Brett Kavanaugh. Perfect, right? Like, he's accused of molesting, what was her name? I forgot her name, I'm sorry. Dr. Ford, I believe, right? Molesting. And he says, no, why don't we take him at face value? Why don't we take him at face value? For some reason we don't. But if a person claims that they're transgender, we take it at face value. Like, what evidence do we have that he actually was legitimately a trans person? Or she was. I don't know. I guess it's she, right? Because it's male to female or female to man. I don't know. Maybe it was like a non-binary person as well. Maybe it was like they, them. I haven't seen the individual. I can't make... Can you misgender that which you haven't seen? I guess it's a her. But that's my point, right? Like, how do you know? How do you know? Like, from what I understand, it was a very beautiful lady with a beard and a big schlong. And we have to assume that they were trans. Now, if the people that are making this legislation, okay, if the people that are pushing for this were trying to at least see both sides of the issues, like trying to understand that maybe, it's not a good look. It's not a good look to have, like, little girls being exposed to big, fat, how should we call it? Pork swords? Then maybe they could come up with a thing and they would say, okay, let's find a way so that both parties are happy. Like, let's find a way so that, I don't know, like, not just any person from the street can go in and we take them at face value. Like maybe, I don't know, like, at least changing your ID should be required. At least, like a doctor's notice that the person is genuinely trans. Like something, maybe to show that they're on hormone therapy or something like that, so that people can't just say, well, I don't know, I don't trust this guy, I never seen him in my life. They claim that they belong here. It's so weird, because, like, in Romania, we don't deal with this shit. Never happened. Not once. But apparently in the United States, people get violent over this. Thank you, Rocky Desert Flower. I appreciate it. Hi, V. I can sneak you into the United States. You want to come? Not after seeing the struggle session at Wii Spa, Reggie. Not after seeing the struggle session. I'll have to wait to see when I have a kid. If it's a boy or a girl, then I have to wait a little bit more to see how they identify. And maybe then, if everything is in order, if everything checks out. Oh my god. Like my kid, if I raise him properly, is not going to be the person exposed. He's going to be the exposer. It's like that. You hear about a little girl crying because she's been exposed to a penis, and you think of me? I am the one who exposes. I am the one who shows, Dad. Who the hell do you think you're talking to, Dad? I am the one who shows. Someone needs to like make, you know, like take the Breaking Bad part, the one with I am the one who knocks, like, and like have it like from a German and just change the subtitles. Okay, like you change the subtitles and you make it like you hear it in the news that in the spa a woman was exposed to a penis, and you think of me. Who the hell do you think you're talking to, Skylar? I am the one who shows. Oh my god. Pleasure. I didn't get a notification again. Well, I don't know. Like every time I finish the video on my main channel, I'm live streaming, so you should check it all the time. I'm not. Yeah, I'm not the I'm no exposee. I am the exposer. I mean, no, seriously, like, if you did it in my country, like, you know, people say, oh my god, America is ascending to fascism. You do this in Eastern Europe, you get arrested, man. You get arrested, you get locked up. You get put in a register. Holy shit. But anyway, right, so, but no, you know what's funny? Because if you actually talk, like, if you don't talk with the activists and you talk with the actual trans people on Twitter, like, they're really upset about this thing. Like, they don't view this as a win. I mean, they don't view that if somehow this forces, you know, people to accept the situation, they don't view it as a win. They actually view it as a potential backlash. Like, you're going to get more and more people that after they push back against this, they're going to love the activism and they're going to try to push back against other rights, which, like, by the way, when it comes to trans people, like, I fully agree that they deserve rights. So, for example, they shouldn't be discriminated because they're trans. They shouldn't, you know, just like any other human rights. Like, they, you know, they shouldn't receive violence because of it. Like, I'm definitely on board with that. But what I find difficult to understand is, how did it get to the point where little girls get to see dicks? This is just like the point that I need to ask. Because up till now, they didn't have to, okay? But now, it's not only that they have to, it kind of seems mandatory, like you're not allowed to complain about it.
Done that. Is that what you're saying? Like I asked. It's so he can stay there. He can stay there? What sexual orientation? I see a dick.
Oh my fucking god. Yeah, so this is like the situation you get in California. You get a common sense person, you know, spewing common sense. And like literally everyone in the comments is siding with this woman. And you have like the employees that are spewing political correctness nonsense in order not to get fired. Right? Like I don't know if this person agrees or disagrees with the situation. I mean, they're on the company dime. They're going to spew whatever the company tells them to. You know, it's not going to be like if they spew their own opinion, no one is going to champion their free speech like people are championing now the rights of teachers to push CRT in schools, even though it's banned in some states, right? All of a sudden, oh my god, my free speech. No one is going to defend this person of their free speech if they start saying, yeah, you know, I think it's kind of fucked up that it got to this place, but like, what can you do? I mean, you know, don't like it, go to another spa. Make your own spa.
It lets me know he's a man. He's...
Wait. They told her it's a guy?
Lets me know he's a man.
Oh no, the penis lets it. Okay.
He's a man. He is a man. He is not no female. He is not a...
Gotta love this. I absolutely love this. You know, this is peak 2021. Like, you're in the middle of some important social struggle. You're in the middle of like that, and then an ad pops up. Like, you're talking about like, okay, my little girl was exposed to a wiener, and then it's like Shopify Unite 2021. That's a wrap. Oh my god. Like, man, like if you took this and you made it in a TV show back in the 90s, no one would have believed it. Did you like the old video that I sent you, V? That's a throwback. I haven't seen it yet, Trey. I'm sorry. I've been sleeping all day, believe it or not. Like, today I've actually been lazy. Anthony Weiner should have just come out as trans, and instead of being demonized, should have been immortalized. He was just ahead of the time, I guess. Yeah, I mean, think about it. Like, man, there's, like, probably so many people that have been arrested for indecent exposure, and they're like, God damn it, I wish I thought of that. Golo Golson, hi V, here's an average hourly wage Romanians make in Northern Europe. What, 50 Swedish kroner? That's just a little bit low, man. It's not an average wage, it's a beer bottle. But I do appreciate the donation. Yeah, like what do you mean actual trans person? Can you define what a trans person is? Like, go on, define it. They by the way, like they've managed to put themselves in an ideological corner that they really can't define what a trans person is. Like, if you look at Wikipedia, the way Wikipedia works is that when you add something, it needs to quote other things, so they need to flow from one another. It's the way Wikipedia works, and that's why like they really can't change the definition of what a woman is on Wikipedia. But like they are trying to abolish gender, right? So by abolishing gender, then that means that if there are no men or women, then you can't have trans people because there are no gender, right? Like there is no man, there is no woman. So if there is no man and woman, then you can't have a man transitioning to a woman. It's getting to the point that they literally cannot define what a woman is, right? They can't say adult human female because that's offensive. So they literally do not have the definition for what a man is. They do not have the definition for what a woman is. And as such, they do not have a definition for what transgender is. Thoughts on Moldova and Bulgaria election? Man, I'm talking about the struggle session at the Wii Spa, okay? Like, this is important stuff. Antifa Romania. Like, your compadres from over the pond actually went and did violence over this crap. It's absolutely hilarious. Like, but there are... How many? 100,000 homeless people in California, yeah. Okay, like I think that is something that would be worthy looking into. That might be something worthy doing activism with. You have like major banks that are taking advantage of the pandemic and the lockdowns and are now purchasing houses from people at a very cheap price because people are desperate. And what the companies are doing, they're now renting those places. They're not selling them further. They're going to rent it. So less people own houses in America after this is going to go, right? You get like major power outages. You get like all of this shit that I would consider as top priority for someone to fix it. But instead of the activism taking place there, instead of people like addressing those issues, they're focusing on this shit. I mean, to me, it's hilarious. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it's entertainment. You know, it's like Seinfeld used to be, or the Jerry Springer show. You know, like to me, it's kind of hilarious. It's like two people that don't like each other here go and argue it out. You know, it's drama. You know, drama sells, I guess. But if I was a Californian, a respectable member of the Antifa organization, you would think you'd talk with the other guys. Hey, can we do something like to help the homeless out? Like maybe that's a problem. I don't know, like, let's focus on some issues that affect more people, I would say. You know, like, and when we fix the issues that affect most people, then we can go down to issues that affect the minority. Like, for example, the right of a person to show his cock and balls to a little girl. Like, maybe we can put that towards the end, you know, like, so somewhere in the back burner, somewhere at the back of the bus. I can't really believe, and the thing is, like, most trans people aren't upset about this. Like, I go on Twitter, I see what they're saying. They're not upset that some guy couldn't go to a spa in order to show his wiener to a girl. Oh my god, I just, ugh. And I don't believe he's trans. That's why I keep misgendering. I don't believe they're trans. I literally don't. So whatever, you know, I just don't take people at face value. I don't take them at face value. Like, show me the ID. You know, in California, you can literally change your gender on the ID. If they did that, I will believe them. Fuck me. Thank you, Home Shop Automation, for the $20. They're not in the business of helping. I don't know. Even if you're not in the business of helping, you have to ask the question at one point. Do you not need some good PR? Like, if you're doing activism, do you not need some good PR in the community you're doing activism in? Like, is good PR not important anymore? Anyway, you have to believe, otherwise you're transphobic. Man, like, look, if I know the person, I'm not going to misgender them, okay? Like, if a person comes up to me and they tell me, hey, these are my pronouns, this is how I want to identify as, fine, I don't mind. But when I read an article and I see the lady with a beard, and they're doing this, and it's like everyone is talking about how big the penis was. I'm like, I don't know. I'm a little bit skeptical. I'm just like, just like, And the idea that like a feminine cock exists is something my brain still has like difficulty wrapping around. Don't say that you're misgendering or something. Just reject the ideology completely. Yeah, just read the YouTube terms of service and then reject the ideology completely. Actually, I think YouTube allows you to misgender. Funny enough, like YouTube allows you to misgender, so I need to keep my. But like Twitter doesn't, right? Like Twitter outright bans you if you misgender. The problem is like I need to keep my ESG score high, right? Like I need to. I need to fire that ESG score so I can't like outright dismiss the ideology. But like a lot of people are outright dismissing the ideology by voting, and then they get shocked when they see, oh my god, how did this legislation came for? Well, you didn't allow conversation to happen, so people weren't changing their minds. You just told them that this is what they need to think, and there you go. But like the most interesting thing that I see, by the way, like this is absolutely fascinating. There's like this individual, I believe a singer in the UK, and they changed their name to, they changed their race to Korean, right? Now, this person doesn't seem to be trying to start a movement. This person legitimately wants to be Korean. I mean, I think like they invested over $100,000 worth of surgery into being Korean. Like at that point, if you're willing to go that mile, if you're willing to just literally invest enough money that you can buy an apartment in some places just to look Korean, like I genuinely think the person wants to be Korean. Okay, that is their wish. I don't give a shit. I don't see how it affects. Like, you want to be part of the race abolitionist movement? Go ahead. I don't see how that's a problem. Anyway. The people that founded the problem are the progressives on YouTube, like people like Hassan Piker. You know, call that person like so many vile things that I would get a community guideline strike violation if I repeated them. And I'm thinking like, why? Why are you calling them out? How the fuck are they bothering you? What does this have to do with transitioning? It's like if the person wants to be Korean and he changes his facial features in order to look Korean, how is it affecting you? So you're telling me that we're in the situation that if a person wants to change their face to look Korean, that is a harm to society and needs to be stopped. But if a person goes to a spa and shows his pecker to a little girl, that needs to be defended. And if it's not defended, then America descends into fascismus. Did you see the CRT guy depending item and Stitch? I think one said CRT isn't taught in schools and it's a conspiracy theory. Yeah, I'll tell you something about conspiracy theories, okay? They're conspiracy theories until they become true, and then once they're true, they become racist to talk about it. So, for example, CRT being taught in schools, it's a conspiracy theory, and once the CRT is taught in schools and everyone knows it, trying to make it so that it's not being taught in schools, it's racist. Like, it's a conspiracy theory until it becomes racist. Like, notice that this is a pattern that I have seen time and time again. You know, like, if you were to go, like, 6 years in the past and you would say, like, it's going to cause a situation where someone with a pecker is going to enter a space with little girls, people would say it's a conspiracy theory. Now it's transphobic to be against it. Time and time again, like, it's like clockwork. Look, Antifa Romania keeps bringing politics in my happy stream. I think you're the only one focusing on these small details and not seeing the good that Antifa does. Look, even your friend Valsad is doing shit about the elections of the East and South. Man, I don't know. I'm talking about, like, what do you think, Antifa, about the struggle session of the Wii Spa? You know, like, let's focus on the subject. Jesus. Don't care about the elections right now. You know why I don't care? Because I didn't look into them. If I looked into them, I would care. But if I look into them, like, none of my subscribers would care. Because I got, like, a Western audience. I don't think many people here could point where Moldova even is on a map. And to be honest, I wouldn't be able to point where Illinois is on a map, so I guess we're even. Let's see, because the struggle session becomes even more interesting.
Female. He is not a female.
Right, so this is something else that I noticed, right? Like, she's absolutely right. Even the activists, okay, they would say that there is a difference between sex and gender. So it started with reality, okay? Like, observation, I guess. Before language was even invented, human beings noticed that some people are born with a dick, some people are born with a vagina. Now, some people could be born with both or with some weird combination of, but I guess some people were also born with 4 fingers and other with 6, but we don't have like different classification for those, right? Like we just consider that to be a rare malformality. And sometimes, like the person wants 6 fingers. I actually had the patient in the hospital with 6 fingers, and he told me that doctor suggested that they amputate one because it looked weird. It was like the 6th one wasn't like fully developed. It looked kind of weird. And he was like, no, it's my finger. Like without it, I would feel weird. And I'm like, hey, fair enough. But like, just because there's a man with like 6 fingers doesn't mean that it's an entire new classification. And we need to have like a different field of study to study like the different type of hands that people might be born with. No, it is the same with like the chromosomes, right? XX and XY. Like just because you have like XXY, that doesn't mean that it's a different thing. And by the way, most people with Klinefelter or Turner, and I spoke with them because again, like when I was at the endocrinology department, they wouldn't want to be classified as something else. Like they just pick a gender and they want people to identify them as such. But like my point is, you first had like the visual reality of things, right? And then language comes up and they say, okay, well, this is a boy and this is a girl. Now, recently, and when I say recently, I think it's like 60 or 70 years ago, you have academics coming up with the concept of gender. And the concept of gender, while it is rooted in the idea of biological reality, it also takes more of a social aspect. So it's like the duties and the obligations as well as the privilege that someone gets in society for being part of said gender. So for example, like men are expected to X, Y, Z, and men have the right to X, Y, and Z. To go to a man's bathroom, to like that type of thing. To go to a man's gym, or a gentleman's club. I don't even know if these things are still around. That was like the idea back then, because when the theory came up, like there were like gentleman clubs and men only clubs and whatnot, right? So that was like what the gender was, and gender was different than the biological reality. So in other words, I guess it's how you would talk about elderly people, right? Because you have the biological reality of age. But like, when does a person become elderly? Depends on person to person, Is like 45 elderly? I don't know, like 50, depends, 55, or maybe you kind of get that, right? So when you have an elderly person, well, then that person has certain rights. Like, for example, in my country, if you go in a bus, then a person is going to get up and give you their seat. Usually, like in a line, someone is going to allow the old lady to go forward. You help the old lady across the street. They don't go to war, right? So it's like the social connotation surrounding the reality. And it's the same with gender, right? Like you look at the sex, and now you have like the idea that, okay, well, certain people aren't comfortable with the sex they got born in, so they want to be recognized as the other gender. But there was always the difference between sex and gender. Like the idea that sex and gender are different, and this is even like what the trans activists used to say for a while. Like they would call you stupid and call you ignorant if you didn't understand that there is a difference between changing one's gender to changing one's sex. Perfect. However, now there doesn't seem to be a difference between sex and gender anymore. And there is no ideological backing for it. The only ideological backing for it is that they're trying to push for gender abolitionism. So erasing the idea of women, erasing the idea of men, and also erasing the idea of transgender. Like, it is literal gender communism. right? Like that's what they want to do. They want to create a society, I guess, like a Starship Troopers, where men and women are together at all time. Doesn't really matter what gender you are. And the reason women hate it is because, well, how can you talk about the gender pay gap or women getting sexist treatment if there is no gender? Because, like, okay, you get a company where you get, like, the gender pay gap, but now all the men identify as women. And there you go, gender pay gap solved. Right? But the other problem with this is my curiosity is, like, why they don't want race abolitionism. Because if they view that this is a solution in order to abolish sexism and to abolish minorities, it's like, you would have even a bigger argument to argue for race abolition then. Because if you look at any person on Earth, they're going to say, well, I gotta, what is her name? Elizabeth Warren, right? Like, Elizabeth Warren can say, like, I got some Cherokee blood 25 generations ago. Therefore, I should be able to identify as Cherokee. Because I'm not Caucasian 100%. Like, I have Cherokee, so therefore I want to identify as that. Right? Because that's how the argument goes. It's like, okay, well, what is men and women, they will ask you. Well, men is XY, woman is XX. But what about XXY? And then you can use the same logic, the same rationale, and you go like, well, what is Caucasian? And they will be like a person with European stock. And then you look the 23andMe test, and they should have like European heritage. It's like, okay, well, this person has European heritage and Cherokee blood. What do you make it? Oh, so therefore, like they should identify as whatever they want. But they don't want that, right? Because there is a lot of power to be had in farming racism. There isn't a lot of power to be had in farming sexism. Farming sexism leads to Me Too. Me Too leads to Hollywood people getting thrown under the bus, leads to politicians getting thrown under the bus, leads to a lot of other problems, and they would distance themselves from that, right? But instead, they can do activism for things that don't affect them. Is it Cherokee? Golo Golson, I would rip it off. Imagine Bruce Willis ripping off Sin City. I haven't seen Sin City, so I don't know. Stress on the first syllable of Cherokee. Is it Cherokee? Okay. Cherokee? Man, I'm in a struggle session right now because, being Romanian for me, this is difficult. You get attacked for being quote-unquote white passing, so I'm no longer brown. Yeah, they actually, like, this is kind of funny, because, like, first they said, first they talked about the idea of white privilege, right? And then they talked about the idea that white people can't be, non-white people can't be racist. But the problem they encounter is, like, what do you do when you have, like, a person like this lady in the chat, Marinara Salsa. No, sorry, my bad. Marinara Salsa. What do you do when she gets attacked by another person of color, right? And now they're coming up with the concept of coloring. So coloring is like when a person of color is racist to another person of color, but they can't call it racism, right? Because that's a different word, so they call it like colorism. And I don't think it sticks. I don't think it has the same impact. Anyway. Let's go back to the source material.
Hold on. He is not a female.
Wait, what is the notice? What is the notice? Women's sauna will be cleaned.
He is not a female, sweetie. Okay? Girls down there, other women who are highly offended for what they just saw. And you did nothing. Absolutely nothing.
You know, by the way, like, the internet calls these women TERFs. It's like trans, exclusionary, radical feminists. How do you know these women are even feminists? Why do you assume just because they're women they must be feminists? Like, what if they're the type of women that really don't give a shit about politics? Like, in order to be a feminist, it implies a level of activism, right? Maybe they just don't like seeing a cock being shown to a little girl, and that's it. Like, that's their problem. All of a sudden, that because of that, they become feminists. I find it a little bit weird, but okay.
In fact, you sided with him. So Wii Spa is an agreement with men that just say they are a woman and they can go down there with their penis and get into the women's section. Is that what you're saying? What, really? What law? What law?
Refund everything back.
So women can go into the...
I actually think that is the law. Yeah, no, I think they have a point there. I mean, it's California, yeah, so there might actually be a law where, and even if it's not a law, like it wouldn't say whether or not you're supposed to do this discrimination. The problem is like they're opening themselves up for lawsuits anyway. You know, like you always can have like a Jessica and Eve type of encounter. These women aren't going to sue them. Like, what are they going to sue the spa for? You know, like the spa isn't going to be sued by the women, but it's definitely going to be sued by the activists if they take another decision.
The men with their breasts. Okay.
And then this shit happening, we're not gonna come back.
Yeah, you shouldn't. Y'all wouldn't come back either.
Yeah, but the problem is like other spas are probably doing the same shit.
Yeah, get your money back.
Everything.
You got a man with his penis talking about he's a woman. He ain't no woman. Yeah, give her money back.
Are you talking about a transgender person?
There's no such thing as transgender.
Okay, so look at this. All right, now this is like the entrance of the soy. This is the sequel, right? The soy strikes back. I don't think there is any social circumstance where this guy would have the courage to stand up in front of a black woman. I don't feel like I can't imagine any other encounter where this man would sack up and he would go and challenge a strong, empowered black lady. Like, Chad, do you honestly think like that the essence of soy would be able to face against a Chad? Well, hold on, it's not a Chad. It's a Stacy. To face against the Stacy lady. I don't think it's the law, but like they just don't want lawsuit. He's mansplaining, is he not? But like this ideology just empowered them. Like all of a sudden this man, you know, with the power of ideology, found out the strength and the courage to walk up to a woman. And a black woman nonetheless. You know, like him as a white man, yeah, managed to like, okay, it is time to me to defend. Look at his shoulders, Jesus Christ. Like this is the California stereotype, is it not? Like you show me any other video. No, seriously, if I'm wrong, show me any other video where a white man in California, like a progressive individual, has the audacity to go without checking his privilege and mansplaining to a woman of color. Like I would love to see it. Candace Owens doesn't count, by the way. Because I've been told by the journalist that she's white. Anyway.
He has a dick. Okay? He has a penis. His penis is hanging out. Okay, no.
Look at this. You know, like this guy doesn't really care about the issue. Right? Like, yeah, being a dick. Like, man, if I was genuinely upset like this lady is, you're not going to make these weak-ass comments, these snarky comments. No, you're going to go there and you're going to give you the piece of mind. Like, they're not going to be like, hey, you're big at this. And everyone clap.
No, I'm not one. Actually, I'm a woman who knows how to stand up and speak up for my right. As a woman...
Look how uncomfortable he is. Like, why the fuck did he get himself into this situation? He's probably wondering. It's like, uh-oh. Hold on a little bit. Like, something's wrong here.
I have a right to feel comfortable without a man
And notice here, like, other women are now backing her.
exposing himself.
And look how the soy is losing confidence. It's like he's now losing confidence because it's not even his fight. He's got no horse in this race. Like, he went there to farm some social points, but now it seems that the society around him is like in disagreement with him. So it's like, oh shit, I'm actually losing social points here.
Okay? No, you go
Look at his expression. Look at his expression.
himself, okay?
A few seconds ago, he had snark. He had snark because he thought everyone is going to back him. And when everyone is backing the lady, he's like, oh shit. Oh.
No, you go.
If he actually had, you know, like a horse in this race, right? Like if there were like something that would actually influence him directly, then he wouldn't back out, right? Like if it was like literally, you know, like maybe he had, I don't know, like a trans kid or something, and it's like, oh my god, I need to fight for the rights of my kid. he would stay there and he would just take it and he would get into the argument. If he started it. Like, if you start the argument, you would finish it. You would stay there and be like, no, you're wrong. No, you're absolutely wrong. No, they identify as. No, like, they say they identify, they deserve to be here. You're a bigot. He's not doing that. He went there. He was like incredibly, nah, you're being a dick. Like, just weak ass, you know, kindergarten level argument, kindergarten level debate.
Somewhere else. Okay, so that's right.
And I was like, bow, bow, bow.
No, he's not a transgender. He has a penis, just like you do. Are you?
So I understand. No.
Yeah.
Right. Be gone.
Okay.
Be gone. The soy warrior has been vanquished. How many women did he piss off now? It's like I can hear like 4 different voices.
It's not okay.
It's not okay.
Okay, that's trauma.
Get educated, bigot. You know, be a good ally and listen. Listen to the voices telling you their experiences.
To see that. I'm a woman. I think this is a place right here. I'm told only for women. So how dare you sit up here and tell me I don't have a right as a woman to defend?
If it's a transgender.
I'm telling you, he has a penis. Full and testicles. Okay.
The walk of shame. The walk of shame. The queen has slain. The queen has slain. Why did she assume he has a penis? Because she's seen it, man. And so did her daughter. That is literally the problem, okay? She didn't assume. She made visual contact with the rocket, okay? The planet has seen the missile. And that's what we're talking about. It's like she didn't assume shit. There was no assumption being made. There was concrete visual evidence. The Soy Strikes Back, yeah. Like this was like the sequel, The Soy Strikes Back.
Told only for women. So how dare you sit up here and tell me I don't have a right as a woman?
This is where The Soy Strikes Back happens.
No, I'm asking you if it's a transgender.
I'm telling you, he has a penis.
Okay, and this is like the return of the strong, empowered black woman.
A full
Like the sequel, the final, the final sequel. The walk of shame. Oh, the other guy. I don't know. Yeah, the other guy doesn't care. I mean, is that like his personal experience? She won the battle by losing the war. Like, this is my point. Like, how do you know she's a TERF? I mean, she doesn't sound like a feminist to me. She's not using the feminist buzzwords and the feminist talking points. I mean, maybe she is, you know? Maybe she reads J.K. Rowling all night long. I don't know. I can't tell from that, but what I do know is that she doesn't appreciate the fact that her daughter was exposed to some genitals. And she's, like, making a complaint about it and fails to understand why the Soy Warrior is challenging her on this. Well, I think like the Soy Lord did get his army of Antifa supporters. Was she wearing a snowflake? Yes, you know, like, man, I need to find out who this lady is, because I want to send her a gift. I wanna send her a gift. Like, if anyone can find out if this lady like has a public Twitter profile where I can get in touch with her, I wanna send her this. I wanna send her this in the mail. I wanna give her this t-shirt. It comes in black as well. Like, you can also get like a black version of the t-shirt. Let me see if I get it. My God, it's $20. Holy shit, that's expensive. Yeah, well, you know, Divina, like, you're just being a bigot there. Like, you just changed the definitions, and then you have nothing to complain about. Oh my God. I'm like, the main problem is like this guy had absolutely nothing to do getting into this situation, right? Wasn't his business. He wasn't being affected. Like, why would you? You're not changing the world with this shit anyway, right? So you're not changing her mind. She's obviously very upset about what she had to see. Like, so if you do go in there, you need to actually have some strong arguments. You're not going to win if you're going to be like, I think you're being a dick right now. And it's like the closing of the eyes as well. Like,
He has a penis.
Like,
Women can go into the...
like, this is before he realized that he's out of his depth. Like, is way out of his depth. Like, look here. You know, like the corner mouth, like, yeah. And then, like, I know what you're talking. Oh my god.
I think this is a place right here, I'm told, only for women. So how dare you?
It's a trans.
A penis.
Do the walk of shame. Do the walk of shame.
I don't care what it's called. It's a man. You
oh my god, he wants more. He wants more. Oh god, like this guy is a sucker for punishment.
You're a man. Okay.
And if we went into the men's section with our anatomy, that would be...
I'm telling you, if you did that, this guy would become a regular. Like, I don't know how many times he goes into this spot, but if you went there with your anatomy, right, into the men's play, he would become a regular. His wife might not appreciate it, though.
Well, it would probably, but you might not like women, so it might not, okay? And we don't know, but for me and for a lot of other women, they do not feel comfortable, and it's not okay. Okay? So, well,
I don't think you're sorry. You didn't look sorry before, okay? Like, you didn't start this off as a good listener.
yeah, you're
It's like
sorry.
only after like 6 or 7 women bunched up against you that you're like, oh god, I'm losing this one.
You should be, sweetie, and you're out of alignment. And
Oh, he's out of alignment. Oh my god.
this is not right. I can tell you that much. All right? And I know you're out of order. Yeah, it must be hard. It must be hard not being a real man, huh?
Oh my god. Oh. Go back on Twitter, honey. You're out of alignment. Oh, shit. Man, I would not want to piss that lady off. I would not want to upset her in any way, shape, or form. LOL, sweetie, you're out of alignment. It's like, oh dear. Do you think the soy boy standing up for the pervert was also planning to expose himself to little girls? No. It's like he was expecting to farm social credit. Like he went there, like he felt like he's going to say, "Oh, you know what, lady? I think you're a dick." And then like everyone would clap, and he would be like, and he would appear in the newspaper like brave man stands up for trans rights in front of bigoted woman. That's. How can you castrate that which has no balls? Yeah, like literally, like this lady created testicles on him. Like she did her magic, boom, created testicles just so she can eviscerate them afterwards. I mean, that was like, like no, that woman made that person a man by acknowledging him just to eviscerate him later. Glad she ate my mom. Oh my god, like with a mom like that, holy crap, like I'd have only got good grades. Jesus Christ. Just like, please, teacher, don't give me an A. I need the A plus, or else I'm going to get the talking from my mom. I can't have another talking. Cloud chasing gone wrong. Yes. That is literally it. That is how I would describe this. Cloud chasing gone wrong. I don't think she's like, this is why I don't think she's a feminist, right? Because she doesn't seem to be aware of the ideology or anything. Like she just didn't appreciate the fact that her daughter was being exposed to the Red Rocket. That's it. Like that's the only thing that I could get. And she was upset and then bewildered is what I would consider. Like bewildered that some random guy comes up and tries to call her a dick. Which she then articulated that the man must be out of alignment. Oh my god.
Try it. So like I said, I want every woman get all of their information.
Look, now she's organizing. Now she's organizing. It's like, man, I'm telling you, like, I think black women are going to lead the cultural revolution.
Security guard just said that is not allowed.
Okay, well, I don't care what the security guard. He's just security.
I'm telling you.
Oh my god, like she's organizing everyone. Oh shit. Like, this lady just took control of the situation. Like, this lady made the situation into her bitch.
Yeah.
Sometimes predators go down and we'll just go through the woman's side.
Okay, well, no, he's sitting in there. Okay, well, security.
No. He doesn't want to be.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
just saying he should have not been allowed to. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. We know that.
Exactly. Exactly.
Oh my god.
So,
Oh, Jesus Christ, what happened there? Like, those were like, the way it escalated in just 3 minutes is just, like she just, she didn't even want to speak with the manager. She doesn't give a shit about the man. Already she's organizing. Like, what we're going to do is, like, you're going to gather the information and you're out of alignment. Oh my god, AV, need to live for a year in the United States to really taste the crazy. Here's some eBay money, so one day you can. LOL. I don't want to go there. Jesus. And now that you're from Britain, like, isn't things more interesting in the UK though? Oh my god. I hold on. I need to see that again. Where like you're out of alignment. Hold on. Let's go again. Like the out of alignment part.
he has a penis, just like you do. Are you?
So I understand.
No.
Yeah. Okay, it's not okay.
It's not okay.
Okay, that's traumatizing to see that. I'm a woman. I think this is a place right here. I'm told only for women. So how dare you sit up here and tell me I don't have a right as a woman?
He's asking for it. He's getting the aggro. He's getting the aggro.
Asking you if it's a transgender.
I'm telling you, he has a penis, a full and testicles. Okay.
Like in his mind is probably, oh my gosh, she lacks the ideological indoctrination to understand, you know, the complexity of the issue. But like the woman is not, there is no complexity. My daughter was exposed, I traumatized. There is no complexity.
And I don't care what it's called. It's a man. You got one? You're a man.
You got one, you're a man. So she first makes him a man just to emasculate him later.
Okay.
And if we went into the men's section with our anatomy, that would be...
I gotta love the Californian accent as well. Like, if we went to the men's section with our anatomy...
Well, it would probably, but you might not like women, so it might not, okay? And we don't know, but for me...
You might not like women, like she's already assuming he's gay. Ah! I can't, I just can't, oh my god.
And for a lot of other women, they do not feel comfortable, and it's not okay. Okay? So, well, yeah, you're sorry. You should be, sweetie. And you're out of alignment. And this is not right. I can tell you that much. All right? And I know you're out of work. Yeah, it must be hard. It must be hard not being a real man, huh?
So first, then again, listen what she did. Oh my god, like, you know, like that scene where the Hulk, like, lifts Loki up, slams him into the ceiling, and then slams him back down. That's literally what she did. It's like, first of all, you got a penis, you're a man. And literally seconds later, you're not a real man. It's like, oh! I called him gay as well. Well, she didn't call him gay. She implied he might be. Fuck. Like, you can write a book just going through this lady's speech. I mean, she spoke for like, what, 3 minutes? 3 minutes and 40 seconds? Oh my god. And it's like... One minute and a half was like with the manager of the spa. Well, the clerk of the spa. He's out of alignment. Yeah, he's not lawful good anymore. Not lawful good. He's out of alignment. Yeah, literally, like, exactly, Billy. Yes, Abdi Mohammed, she didn't question his sexuality. She said, how would you like it if the women would go over to the men's room? And then she said, I mean, you may not like women. I don't know. It's like, oh, shit. Do you think she will lead the fight against transracialism? No. Yeah, she insulted this manhood in literally every new way she knew. Like, it's like, if there was a way to insult a man's manhood, she used it. No, it's not Candace Owens. It's like some random girl. Like I don't even think she's an ideologue. Like I don't think she's interested in politics or whatnot. But like literally, she was surprised that politics is interested in her. One woman, so much carnage. When did the battle happen? Afterwards. Like I can't show it on YouTube because YouTube doesn't allow violence. But what ends up happening like after this? Let me see if I can find some articles. Like imagine going violent over this shit, right? Like some people are so hyper emotional over this. But what ends up happening is that like some people came to protest at the spa, right? I mean, it got with the cops and all. So like some women went to protest at the spa. They're not even that many, to be honest, in order to like justify like anyone doing something. It's like, okay, you know, like let them speak. But no, you then got Antifa coming in. And eventually, like, the cops arrive and they have to use violence. Oh, my God. Again, like, if people were this enthusiastic about helping the homeless like they are about caring about trivial social issues, the world would be a better place. Critics of gender ideology saw this coming. Yeah, no shit. Oh my God, like look at the New York Post, the anti-reality theory. That gender has no biological basis, are purely subjective and therefore interchangeable categories. The progress of the women movement in the last century, after all, rested on sex differences. Yeah, I mean, obviously, it all boils down to a question. Okay, and I said this at the beginning, and I'll say it again. Like, all ideology aside, all right, like let's strip it down to the bare skeleton. Okay, like let's strip it down to the most basic question that this can be asked. Should little girls be exposed to a stranger's cock? Yes or no? Okay, no other question. I'm not saying male or female, all right? Well, I am saying little girl, okay? Like, I can even make it different. Should children be exposed to a stranger's cock? Right? Like, should children without cock be exposed to a stranger's cock? There, I managed to put it to the most basic form. How, and if, let's say, a parent doesn't want that to happen, is there a space where the parent can legally go to? Like, do you have freedom of association? That is the question. Can you create a space where people with the same genital can be allowed, but people without the same genital can't be allowed? That is the question that needs to be asked, right? And if you answer, well, no, because then it's fascism, well, I think you're going to piss off a majority of the population. Like, if you were to send this as a poll, okay, like, even in California, make this a poll, a survey, and see how many people, because like, the left keeps talking about democracy and how important democracy is, that one person, one vote, and blah, blah, blah. Okay, make this into a survey. Like, how many people do you think will side with the fact that, yes, what happened here is perfectly reasonable, right? Like, the mother is a bigot. The little girl, you know, she wasn't traumatized. She didn't lose anything for seeing a woman with a beard and a big schlong. You know, like that's perfectly fine. Okay. Make it into a poll, right? And see how many people you piss off. And then the question is, like, what do you do with the people that are pissed off? And the answer, I guess, is like suppress them, oppress them, like censorship, get them fired, shame them, struggle sessions, right? The tyranny of the minority, I guess. Because, like, there needs to be a middle ground if you're, like, a genuine person that really cares about social issues, right? Like, let's say, that, and I personally haven't heard, okay, like, this is just me. I haven't heard, like, trans people, neither on Twitter, nor the ones that give me money on Subscribestar, and I haven't heard a single one complain about this. Like, most trans people that I know were actually upset about this, and they were saying, like, no, this is not the correct way, because there's going to be a backlash. Like, this is not the fight that they genuinely want. Like, most of the trans people that I know, what they want is free healthcare. Like, that is what they care about, right? Like, that is the thing that they're interested in. So, you know, like, the solution, I guess, from the other side is more tyranny, more censorship, more silencing people, you know, getting rid of dissent. Okay. But anyway, right? Hopefully you like this video. Now you're thinking like a lawyer. How would you defend the Mr. Dicky Big Bucks? I mean, Mr. Dicky Big Bucks gets to be defended on the simple fact that, well, if they identify as trans, they're trans, so that, like, the spa did nothing wrong. I mean, that's very easy to defend legally. Thank you, Hong McBee, for the $5. Foxwood, I'm just telling you what they're saying. I'm not advocating for anything. Right, anyway, right, thank you for watching this. I appreciate it. Hopefully you guys